Hey guys, just wanted to give you some little tips for the free fall lab that'll help you guys out to avoid some of the common mistakes. So you'll need a piece of paper. You can just use your notebook paper. Of course, a tennis ball for this lab and the ruler, but we're gonna do something with it. We're gonna actually loop a little rubber band through it so that you can hold it from the rubber band. I'll explain that in a second. So anyway, with the piece of paper, you're gonna crumble it up. Not too tight, but maybe like the size of a baseball, tennis ball, something like that. And what you're gonna do, of course, is you're gonna shoot yourself dropping this wadded up paper and the tennis ball later. And you wanna kind of be back pretty far from your camera. I wouldn't say like 2 rooms or anything like that, nothing too crazy, but you don't wanna be this close, all right? So this probably isn't too bad, even though I can't see the floor. But if you can maybe go back to the wall, that's probably a little bit better. I'm gonna do it right here just for the sake of talking to you guys. But anyway, you're gonna drop your paper. Now, if you drop it and it moves to the side, we don't want that. All right, so take your time, make sure, of course, you drop it and it falls straight down because we're dealing with motion in the Y component or coordinate, all right? That is then why I want you guys to hold this by the rubber band, because if you hold this by the rubber band, this will actually show us exactly what direction is vertical in your video because gravity's pulling it down. So this will actually then serve two purposes. It'll be our scale, like it normally is, making sure you hold it at the same depth. I don't care if it's above or below where the paper starts. But then also, if you hold it by the rubber band, it'll actually show us which way is the Y direction, okay? So make sure you're good with those. The tennis ball has 2 parts. So the tennis ball still has the drop, which is nothing special. Just make sure it goes straight down. And it's actually okay if you don't see it go all the way to the floor, because if it did hit the floor, you wouldn't want to track that anyway because it's no longer free fall. The last part with the tennis ball is the hardest. So what you're gonna do is not drop it, but throw it up and then let it fall to the ground. Now there's 2 things. You actually, for it to be in free fall, you need to wait to track a data point until it's left your hand. So if you track a data point while it's still in your hand, that's not a good data point because it's not in free fall yet. So the first one should be right when it leaves your hand. The second thing is basically, I'm gonna throw it up, so I don't want it to leave the video. If it goes up here and I can't see it, I have to reshoot the video. You have to start over. Okay, so when you throw this up, if it only goes a couple feet because you're kind of close like I am, that's okay. Throw it up, then let it fall straight down and that'll be good. Of course, if you're a little further back, then you have a little bit more play with throwing it up high and you might be able to get a couple more data points, all right? Just make sure, of course, when you throw it that it does go vertical because we want all of our motion to be in the Y component now, all right? All right, hope this helps, guys.